to Shut the Smut Up, Witches.
We're so on par together.
Duh.
Always.
It didn't take us like 20 tries.
That's true. Okay, what are we talking about today?
We are going to be talking about Laura Thalassa's book, Bewitched.
I loved it.
I did too.
I thought it was great.
Okay, well, disclaimer. These are my opinions and my opinions only. The book is fantastic, but I did have some things. So,
what were your things?
First off, I did feel like the book was a little rushed.
Okay, yeah, I could agree
right off
with
the
that.
bat. I'm just going to go right into that. Like
right into the plane crash and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
you could also argue that it hooks you.
That I could agree with. So I do think that throughout the book did progress and it did draw you in more.
Yeah.
But I did feel a little rushed. But that does nothing wrong.
We met Memnon earlier.
We did meet Memnon earlier.
Nobody's sad about that.
So first off, we're gonna say what our ratings were of the book. I gave it a 4-star.
I also gave it a 4-star.
Spice wise, I would have given it maybe like a 1.5.
I think I gave it. Well, there was more than a few scenes. I think it was like I think I might have done a 1.5.
I just felt like there could have been more, but I understand the build-up.
Yes.
So
you get more of that.
Correct. So we do actually have notes this time to keep us on track with what we're talking about.
Because we're terrible and we don't ever
Carly,
keep ourselves.
We are also. This is not affiliated by Disney at any sort.
No, we just are like doing a witchy vibe in April. It's fine.
You could say that April Bewitched was our book of the month. In a sense.
Yeah.
So
it was great. I was really glad when you read. I had seen this on TikTok, but I was really glad when you had recommended me this book because I was in denial that I was in a book slump.
Yes, you were.
I just was like, no, I just want to like do other things and do Legos.
I called it.
And I read the book, I think
it was a day.
It was a day. Like I just ate it up.
Yeah. So
I thought it was great. You know what I actually have learned that something that I do enjoy in a book is I like a little bit more world building, I think, than most people. So I felt like...
It depends on how the world building goes, though.
Yes.
Because in world building, there is either too much information or there's not enough or there's that perfect mix.
I wanted like a little bit more of the... Like, I understand that the main storyline is not that, but I almost wanted a little bit more in that, which is Coven.
I agree.
The Henbane.
I agree. So first off, what was your favorite part of the book?
Okay, one of the first things that stuck out to me that was my favorite part. I mean, you know one of my other favorite parts. Yeah. Wait. I don't know. Was it in the first book that I'm thinking of?
No.
Yeah. Okay, I'll cut it. So one of my favorite parts that I feel like stuck out the most is I was obsessed when she found her familiar.
Oh, yes.
It was so badass.
Nero, man.
Nero, so what is Nero?
He's a Black Panther, man.
And everybody else has all of these...
A cat, a bird.
Like tiny little things. And they say like the bigger your familiar...
The stronger a witch. Or wizard or sorcerer, whatever you want to call it. I agree.
Yeah. I did think it was a very interesting concept just as a whole, like with the book, that she has this memory loss that like when she uses her magic.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, that it eats her memories away.
Yep. I think that's my favorite part of the book. Memory loss, forgotten memories, it's such like a great trope.
Yeah.
Such a great trope because there's obviously a story behind
Well,
something.
It's mystery. And I think that it builds suspense.
Yeah.
And I think we both obviously do that because we like a lot of the same stuff. But like I thought that was like such like a chef's kiss.
Yeah, the mystery, the lore behind the memory loss, like we don't know anything about it, right? Except for she's always been that way since her magic awoken, right?
Right. Well, and then her best friend's in part of the coven, and so she wants to go, but this is like her third time
applying.
Yeah, and then they finally give her like stipulations. They don't like that she has the memory loss, and then they also said that she doesn't have a familiar. but then she's like confused because she's like, well, there's tons of witches that don't have familiars.
Correct. Yeah. It's just an interesting concept on like the memory loss and the story behind the magic, the covens, and like how witches and like these creatures are out into the world, right?
Like people are like,
they're like a community with everybody.
Mm-hmm. I loved that witches can see each other's like magic
and their auras, their
the colors.
Correct. Yep. And how hers was the orange, right? And then obviously Memnon's was that blue, and I loved that. So I don't know. We actually just kind of went over some of our notes just within it. Like the mystery was fun, but let's talk about Memnon.
Oh,
Memnon. That's a little hot.
We love Memnon. I love how she found Memnon.
Like, that was so cool.
It was like way cool. So she's on a plane because she's just decided to get drunk and she's gonna go. So she has to have this quest to get in. Mm-hmm. That was one of the stipulations to get into this coven.
Magical quest.
Yeah, and so she's like, whatever. So she gets like drunk, but she has memory loss, and so she books this trip. Is it to the Galapagos?
Yep, to the Galapagos. Yeah, because it's supposed to be like a magical island where people go and stuff.
And so basically, while she's on the plane, she hears a voice.
Empress.
Yeah.
I love the word. Don't ask me how to pronounce the word, but the way that I hear it in my head, like, man, S something.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. I probably should have looked up how to say that.
I don't care. Because they would have probably
look it up on Google.
It would have screwed me over with how in my head how Memnon sounds.
It's like it like blends when you like read everything, but then trying to say anything. But like there's lots of things like when they are doing spells or different things that sometimes like they say like the older language or whatever has more power, and so like there will be these spells and it's like it just flows in your brain, but if you tried to say it out loud, it would
not. That I agree with. So
but yeah, so she hears these whispers basically, and she keeps seeing kind of this blue magic kind of snake through the aisles. Correct. When she's on the plane, and nobody else is seeing this, so she's the only witch on the plane.
It really is. And then the plane goes down, right?
And she's trying to fight against the blue magic because the plane's trying to
bring her to wherever this is, right? And then the plane crashes, everybody survives, and then this bitch walks into the jungle like
by herself.
Yeah, because of this blue magic, and it's like, and this is where I think
Memnon was at the other end of
that. Well, if we knew that's where Memnon was, yes. But I think this is where it kind of felt rushed because instantly, right then again, she finds her familiar right off the bat, right? Yeah. And then
I wasn't expecting that.
I didn't expect.
I thought she was going to get like mauled or something, and something was going to save her.
Correct, and that's why I felt like it felt a little rushed. That was,
but it also was surprising.
Her familiar, but then she gets led to these ruins, right? This temple, and then she finds this man in perfect condition.
Yeah, like tomb, she has to like move this slab, and then along as she's going through the hallway to get to the tomb, there's all of this stuff and like carved into the walls. Yep. There's spells everywhere, but she finds that like she can touch the spells and she's breaking things. Like it comes into her skin and it breaks down. She keeps hearing like Empress.
Yep. Oh God, yeah. So, anyways, Memnon is this. Right off the bat, you think of him as the evil villain, asshole, douchebag, right? Like, do we love it? Yes,
we did. Like, he's so bad, it's good.
It is, and the way that he handles himself, he's cocky.
All man.
He's cocky, confident. Like
we obviously like that.
He knows what he wants. But the description of Memnon that Laura Thalassa like gives you of like when he's still sleeping.
Yeah.
It's like
and that the clothes and like the armor and everything. Already. Yeah, the armor and everything's like disintegrating. And then when she wakes him up, all of a sudden like his eyes pop open and all the clothes fall off. And I was like I was like, yes. I was like, oh my gosh, this isn't this type of novel, but why did I want them to get down and dirty right there?
Up against the ruins of a temple.
But like, that's like, it was like just the tension. Like, I just feel like the tension's there. And the banter in the book, I am a sucker for banter.
I agree with the tension that is built throughout the book, because Memnon, when he looks at Celine, the main girl, he sees a past lover. It would probably be good if we say
her.
Yeah, he sees a past lover.
Yeah, so he thinks that this is his wife, that she's the queen, the empress.
Yep, that she is the one that imprisoned him, left him. And so
she wakes this being up and she doesn't know, but on the tomb before she opens it, it says Memnon the Cursed. Like it's something about like beware or whatever.
Yeah, beware that this person brings like the end of the world, basically, and stuff like that.
Which already, like, I love that.
Well, yeah, I thought it was so more lore behind it.
Like, I was like, oh, I love this.
So there is history with Memnon and Celine that we find out that she is his wife reincarnated.
Yeah, but she doesn't know this.
Yeah, so because all she has memories of is being born to a normal family, not having magic, and then having magic, blah, 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 right? We'll get to that down the road, but what did you think of, like, him framing her for murders and just, like, how he wanted to get revenge on her?
Yeah, okay, let's rewind just a little bit. So, back history. Okay, so he ends up leaving, like she gets basically knocked out. Correct. And she wakes up with Nero, her familiar, and the slab is back over. So she's able to break the spell that he puts on, do the same thing, and then doesn't see him. So she ends up going back to the coven and everything. She ends up leaving the rainforest, whatever, and going back. And she can still, like, she hears him and she's like, oh no, he followed me back.
Correct.
So as she gets so after she like has this whole quest, all of this stuff, she ends up getting accepted to the coven. And once she's accepted the coven, kind of does her thing. She's so excited. She always like wants to be accepted and everything. Well, then witches start to be murdered, and because she has memory loss, the policia or whatever they call them, like the magical police. Yeah. She always kind of happens to be there, like weird situations. So we find out, like you said, Memnon ends up framing her because he thinks that Celine, which is it Roxalana?
Yeah.
Framed him, or not framed him, excuse me. Imprisoned him, and that it's her like fault. So he's trying to get her back, but he also like wants her love. So you have like this back and forth, but she doesn't know that he's framing her for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, that is true. Yeah, she doesn't know that he's framing her until towards the end of the book. Mm-hmm. So there is that, and like the whole like the revenge part that he wants to play.
Yeah,
it gives me kind of like it was just on the tip of my head. The what was the Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt movie?
Oh yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
That's what it gives me.
Like right? It's kind of like
the banter
that
in a sense.
Yeah,
but like he's wanting revenge, even though they're like, let's fuck.
Yeah,
we love each other.
But you don't get that. Like you get these little things. So she'll be like sleeping at night
and have dirty dreams.
And she has these dirty dreams, and she thinks that they're just dreams, but he's sending her dreams. But oh my! And then right before, obviously things are gonna happen, she'll wake up, and you're like, damn it. Like
he's giving her blue balls.
Yeah.
A woman's type of blue balls.
Yeah. So there also is a little bit of a love triangle. So you have shifters in this books, books, whatever.
Werewolves.
Yeah. And so before she goes to Henbane, she has this other academy that like kind of seems like it would be like high schoolish because she's 20 years old.
Correct.
So she went to this other academy with this boy named Kane. She didn't think he existed, And so they go to this party once she gets accepted, and she is like, her friend tries to set her up so she can get like down and dirty with
Get
Kate.
laid.
Yeah. So they're hitting it off, everything. Celine keeps hearing randomly like she's worried that he followed her, but like thinks nothing of it. Like life goes on. They get back to her room.
Oh yeah, Kane and Celine after this party go back to her room and are gonna get down and dirty, and Memnon ends up showing up out of the blue.
Like was it through the door or the window? I think it's a window. No.
So Kane gets thrown out the window.
That's right.
Memnon like, comes in through the door and literally
she's like in her bra and underwear, and he walks in, and I can't remember what he says, but something amazing. Yeah. Where he's like, "Don't ever touch her," and I'm like, so it's like the touch her and die, and I'm like, stop.
Yep, and Kane gets thrown out this window by Memnon, and Celine is like,
"What the hell?" Like, and he like isn't moving.
Yep.
But like, her familiar doesn't do anything.
Her familiar loves Memnon.
Loves him. Like, rubs up on his leg, loves him. Yep. Like, and so she's like, great, whatever. Like, my familiar doesn't even help me. Oh man. But there's just like so many different things that like she like wants him but doesn't. She doesn't understand why she feels this way. But she also has these weird little things. So he's trying to make her remember. And she has these weird little things that she understands that she can speak a different language. Is it Samaritan?
Sumerian.
And so he's trying to explain to her, and she's just like, no, that's not who I am. I know you think this is who I am. And
he's like, why did you just tell me that in our language? He's like, why can we talk mind to mind? If we aren't what I
he
said
says that they're soulmates.
Yeah, they were mates. And she's like, no.
She's like, you have me confused with somebody else.
Yeah, she's like, I would have been told if I had a mate.
Yeah.
Which then she does find out that she wasn't told, even though it was on the paper showing that she had a mate, a soulmate.
Yeah.
So then she comes to that and is like, oh, fuck. I don't want nothing to do with this asshole.
Yeah.
So they kind of create a deal, in a sense. Mm-hmm. So she gets back to we're going to go back to when she comes back to the coven, because I feel like this is a really good big one for the rest of the book that leads into book 2. She gets invited to come to a coven ritual.
Yes.
And obviously she can't access her magic, like we said, because she has memory loss. If she uses magic, she loses a memory, so she's afraid of doing things. And spell circles, obviously, you have to have magic. Well, they bring in a young werewolf girl into the spell circle, and they're going to kill her. And Celine obviously is triggered, like something is wrong here.
Right.
Something's wrong.
Yeah. So there's light and dark magic, and
correct.
So obviously this isn't.
This is the darker side of magic, and she can feel it, where she's like, something is off. So she ends up breaking the spell circle, taking the young shifter girl, and saving her and taking her back over to the werewolves. But in the midst of this, she gets attacked by these witches.
They're like throwing curses at her.
The good thing about Memnon, him being his asshole, and
he like
even though he's like, I'm framing you, right?
You still love him because he'll speak to her and be like,
he's like, use my magic,
on?
Take my magic.
Yeah, sends it down their bond to like help her
because she doesn't want to use her own magic because obviously she'll lose memories. And with the whole memory loss, she has, throughout her entire life, she's written in journals. She has journals on journals on journals and journals.
Like bookshelves.
Every day from all of her life since she started losing her memories. And towards the end, Memnon steals them. He takes every single journal.
But
no, he didn't steal them. He burned them.
He burns them.
Yeah, he set them all on fire to even help frame her even more for these murders.
And so when the police, that's really when I think it took a turning point, is when he burns her journals.
Yeah.
Like that wrecked her.
Correct. Well, you got to think that's her entire life, right? All these memories that she's lost are within these journals.
Yeah, she's got pictures and sticky notes like everywhere.
So Memnon is like so dead on trying to frame her that he burns her journals to where when the police want to come and look through her journals, they're not there anymore. Because she's
cooperating with them. Correct. Because she wants to be.
She doesn't want it. She's like, I'm not the murderer. Like, I write down my entire daily life in these journals. So look what you want.
One thing I I thought that was a little weird is her friend, like they're really good friends,
but she seems sus.
like just a teensy bit. But I also just like I think that she was very much a side character, and I thought her friend would have been there more, as close as they were. But I also know Celine kind of pushed her away. But it was just one of those things where it's like, why don't you guys just like walk back and forth to each other's like little dorms?
But they live in the same house.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but I think that's where the thing of her becoming sus to me.
Yeah, I kind of thought something was
because she wasn't so present.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we're back to when she saves Kara the wolf. Because she does that, she ends up like going. So the witches border
the
wolf's land, and so they
the have a treaty.
Yeah, and so she tries to just get Kara at least there because she knows, because Kane told her if she needs anything just to cross that, and they will come and help. And so she does everything she possibly can. She's completely torn up. Memnon down their bond keeps telling her, "Hold on, I'm on my way." And you're just like, "Get there." And she just keeps taking all of these hits, and he doesn't quite make it there. And finds out that she's pretty powerful. And I'm pretty sure if I remember it, she has some stuff happen and ends up like freaking killing some witches to save this wolf. And so then the wolves come and she like ends up passing out, but Memnon grabs her, and I think she's like in his arms and ends up taking her back to her room and stuff. So he does quite a few things that like you're like, but is he the enemy?
We love him secretly.
Yeah, so. Like you just do. It's like I like didn't think it was a big deal. I'm like, so what? He framed you for murder?
Yeah, just fuck him. You know, I was
like, just do it because she like. The author like works you up with these dreams. I'm like, can you just freaking like do it already?
Yep.
But like it was so good, and I think like I love a build up and I love that tension. But I like that she still sprinkled some stuff in there.
Yeah, and like the whole like him framing her for murders and everything. Like he's being the bad guy. Who doesn't love a bad guy? We love the baddies,
but only in books. Maybe in real life. It's fine. It depends. But yeah, I thought it was a great book. I think it was
it's an easy read.
So easy. Like it was such a good book when you're in a slump. Like
I just to get you out of a slump. I knew it was such a good recommendation for you. I knew you would just fly through it.
And I kind of feel like it was fun. Like I'm kind of loving all the witchy stuff right now. And so it's just been fun. Like an easy read. There's not really like a ton of world building, but there is a bigger plot in the book, which as you go into the second book will expand. Correct. Which that bigger plot I love. But
he comes to the school dance. She's out to she is dressed like to fucking to make him jealous, like big
slits up the side
to make him jealous, and he is like, you either choose me or I'm destroying everything.
Yeah, like his power branches out and he's holding everybody and he's slowly cutting off everybody's hair supply. Yep.
So she finally gives in and she's like, fine.
Because he knows that she has a sweet nature. That she doesn't want to hurt anybody.
So she's like, fine, like I'll do what you want. Yep, I'll marry you. So he ends up letting everybody go, and then he erases everybody's memory of what happened. Well, not erases, he alters it.
Yes.
I guess like a compulsion, like from a vampire or something. This is what happens, as he says, and everything.
And then even her friend, like she tries to come up because she knows that something's wrong, and he makes it so that she like goes away.
Correct. So, and then after that, they go back to her room, and the deal is that she has to marry him and get her memories back, and Memnon is the one that breaks the spell, breaks the curse.
Well, and he also they have like a binding contract. She has to marry him.
Correct. Yep. They create that contract. You have to marry me once your memories come back. And it's just, it puts so much pressure on her because yes, she wants her memories back, but no, she doesn't, because she doesn't want anything to do with Memnon. She's like, he's the bad guy, the villain.
Then once she finds out that that's her soulmate, she's like,
correct.
What the heck?
Well, like, she finds out that he is the one that framed her for the murders in that part. So she's like, I don't want to, like, why Why would I marry somebody that's framed me for murder, tried to kill me, tried to kill my friends, but then are sweet, my soulmate, take my magic, let me help you.
All like he helps her the whole way, but it's his own fault. Like the whole situation. That it's all happening. Yeah, but you don't know that at the time. So you just like start kind of falling in love with him, and you're like, but like he's an ass, but it's okay.
So the ending of the book is she gets her memories back, and book 1 is over.
I immediately was like,
book 2, where is it? Give it to me now.
It was like that kind of thing where you're like, I need it. Like I need it now.
So there's book 1. A review, 4 out of 5 stars. Spice, 1 to 1.5. Recommend if you need something short and easy to read.
Yes.
With a hint of spice.
It's like just enough.
Stuff. It is. Sprinkle.
Mm-hmm. I quite enjoyed it. It was great. Thanks for the recommendation.
But so if you guys like these type of videos,
let us know. Yeah.
Put in the comments something that you think we should read also.
We're always looking for recommendations, and I mean, not that we don't have enough, but like it's literally always ongoing.
More is better. So please check out our next video because we will be talking about the sequel.
Yes.
Be Spelled by Laura Thalassa, and we are super excited to talk about it.
These dogs. We are excited. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye, bitches.